All right, we're going to move on now. Well, India is witnessing a sharp rise in H1N1 cases, with Delhi among the worst affected regions. The capital has recorded 1,777 H1N1 infections this year, while Karnataka has crossed 4,000 mark. The surge is being reported amid the monsoon season, with doctors flagging a rise in flu-like illnesses across several cities. Health authorities, however, have urged people not to panic, with the ICMR confirming that no new H1N1 strain has been detected. People are advised to maintain respiratory hygiene, avoid crowded spaces, and seek medical attention if symptoms persist. With advisories under effect, let's take you through some common FAQs regarding the virus that we have at hand. All right, Dr. Swati Maheshwari, Director of Manipal Hospital, is joining us on the program. Dr. Maheshwari, appreciate you being here with us. Well, should the country be panicking at this point in time? These number of cases are highest that have been reported in a long time. What do you make of this surge?
Absolutely not time to panic at all. Definitely, we are seeing an uptick of cases, especially during the season. We do see influenza cases, but yes, of course, if we compare from the yesteryears, then yes, definitely we are seeing more cases this time. But since 2009, when H1N1 actually had a pandemic and then it spread globally, it became a very wide concern at that time. Since then, it has become part of a seasonal influenza that we generally see every year. So it's nothing to panic as such. The only thing is, yes, since we are seeing a rise in cases, everybody needs to be cautious. Everybody needs to take precautions so that, we don't spread the infection too much around. And especially if we remember COVID times, then most or less the precautions remain the same, that because it also is a respiratory virus, it also spreads through droplet infection. Therefore, we need to be careful when we are in crowded spaces, especially in public transport, offices, schools, or wherever there is a closed environment. We need to be careful, that if we are interacting with somebody who's coughing, sneezing, or we are talking to somebody who's already having fever or sore throat, then there are chances that we might get infected as well. So one thing is, yes, definitely N95 mask that we need to bring out again and use it, especially when we are outside in crowded spaces. Second, we have to, watch out for our hand hygiene, keep our hands clean most of the time. And again, third is cough etiquettes. If we ourselves are having any sore throat, cough, sneezing or anything, then we need to be sure that we are not just coughing out in open. We are using a napkin, or we're using our hand or elbows to cough or sneeze into, so that we don't spread the infection. And if anybody for that matter is having fever or sore throat or cough, then they should avoid traveling to office or school or to their workplace, so that they don't spread infection. So rest for 2 days in house. And the good part is that 99 or 95% of the cases for that matter, they just get themselves better. So it is a self, kind of remitting disease. So in just another 2 or 3 days, just with little symptomatic treatment, most of the people recover. So there's nothing to panic as such. There's only a section of society, which I'd say, especially, elderlies who are more than 65 years, children who are less than 5 years of age, pregnant or lactating women, or people who have their immunity, which is suppressed, diabetic patients, heart disease patients. These are the vulnerable group which need to be very careful, because for them, the infection might become a little more serious than the usual. And therefore, this group needs to get themselves vaccinated. They need to be more cautious with the symptoms and the signs, especially if you get high-grade fever, sore throat, sudden difficulty in breathing, or you have a very high temperature which is not getting better with simple paracetamol and all. So this is the group which needs to be really careful. Rest of all, I think most of us, if we are just careful, we follow these hygiene etiquettes that are there, then we'll be able to sail through this season.
All right. Dr. Maheshwari, also talk about any precautions that one should take, since this is a disease which is, more or less contracted through, respiration. Is this something that normal citizens can do to prevent themselves? And does, the pollution in North India make this infection or its possibility even worse?
Absolutely, you're right. That pollution, kind of spreads the infection even more faster, because most of the people already have their lungs compromised now, because we've been living in this polluted environment for long. But as of now, I think the things that we need to take care of is again 995 masks that we need to be careful of. If people around us are coughing, sneezing, or having high grade fever, then we need to maintain a certain distance with them so that we don't get infected. Again, you need to really look after your hydration and the kind of food that you're taking, because immunity is something which actually helps us fight with all these infections. So if you're hydrating yourself well, if you're consuming good amount of vegetables and fruits which are especially seasonal because they have good amount of vitamin C in them, then your immunity levels are generally good and you don't get severe diseases. So that is something we need to watch out for. Then again, there are a lot of other monsoonal respiratory infections which happen at this time. So it's difficult to differentiate them and just on basis of symptoms. So in case anybody has fever for more than 3 days, or they're having difficulty in breathing, or if you find that somebody's fever is high grade and it's not resolving with simple paracetamol, they're getting dehydrated, and sometimes even people have diarrhea and vomiting with kind of flu infections, not actually restricted to respiratory symptoms all the time. So even abdominal symptoms can prop up. In that situation, again, dehydration becomes very important. So if any of these things happen, then definitely you should get yourself tested. You should consult a doctor and seek medical advice so that you can get proper treatment for what. And everybody should know that we do have antivirals for this. So if anybody is tested positive and they are having symptoms and the clinical assessment says that yes, we should give them antivirals, then the antivirals are available and can be taken. But as of now, precautionary, yes, people can take vaccine. So if you're not infected and you're not having any respiratory symptoms, then you can take the seasonal influenza vaccine, which is very much available, and it's a single shot which can be taken, especially by the vulnerable group, so that in case you get infected, then you don't get severe disease. Because as it is, the infection is definitely prevented by vaccine, but still there are breakthrough infections and people might get infected. But in that situation, you won't get a severe disease if you're vaccinated. So that is one thing which you can really do.
All right, Dr. Maheshwari, stay with us. Some breaking news coming in. The Indian Council of Medical Research has issued a statement clarifying that there is no new H1N1 strain circulating in India, urging people not to panic. According to ICMR scientists, the H1N1 virus currently in circulation belongs to the A. Missouri 112025-like strain, which has been circulating since 2025 and remains well matched with recommended vaccine strains. Seasonal influenza is generally self-limiting, with symptoms including fever, cough, headache and body ache. However, children, the elderly and those with underlying conditions face a higher risk of complications. The ICMR says that the situation is being closely monitored through regular surveillance. Dr. Maheshwari, what about children? How cautious do parents need to be and children need to be, schools need to be when it comes to H1N1? You know, since this is something which in a way is communicable, what do you think schools should be focusing at this point in time?
Absolutely. School is a big focal point for spread of these infections, because what we have seen is that, children, they are closely packed into classes. Then again, they travel through buses back to their home, and also there's a high chance of children spreading infection among themselves, and not just among themselves. A lot of these children, they get subclinical infection. They don't get too many symptoms, but they take this infection back home where they might be having grandparents at home, pregnant mother or pregnant aunt or somebody, and there are chances of these infections getting transmitted to the rest of the society, and especially to this vulnerable group. So definitely school is an important focal point, and the teachers and the administration, they need to be very careful. They need to spread awareness about mask use. Secondly, they need to tell the parents that if any of the child is having these symptoms, sore throat, fever, cough, then they should not send that child to school. They should keep the child at home for next 2-3 days, seek medical advice, and send the children back to school only after they don't have fever for at least 24 hours. Because this virus can be spread even after a person gets better, takes at least 2-3 days more, a person can transmit this infection. So definitely keep the children who are sick away at home. Don't ask them to come to school. In the school, practice more of hand hygiene. You have to have these bells which ring after every hour, and you kind of encourage children to wash their hands with soap and water. You have to teach them cough etiquette so that just in case any child is coughing or sneezing, they don't spread the infection further. And you have to tell children that they have to keep themselves well hydrated. So you have to kind of instill that, sense in the children as well, that they need to drink water well. and they have to, eat healthy food so that their immunity levels are good. And then again, in case any child is having these problems, or you find the child is having respiratory distress, or the lips are
All
blue,
right.
or the child is having difficulty in breathing, whatever, then you should immediately take
All
that
right.
child to
Dr.
nearest
Maheshwari,
hospital.
appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We have some breaking news coming in. Well, the situation continues to remain tense at Jantar Mantar.